Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Air Hauler 2 with me, Here37. So we're down here in Wilmington, North Carolina. That's KILM, and in this episode we're going to go over to, let's go ahead and go to Raleigh, KRDU, and the next one we'll probably go over to Winston-Salem and then make our way to Huntington. This is a pretty short flight, kind of like what we were doing earlier in some of the previous episodes, just about 106 miles right there. Don't care too much about the wind. We'll have the tower tell us where to take off. But over here at Raleigh, as you can see, this wind is coming from the south-southeast. And the major runways here with the ILS would be a crosswind, but you see this little runway right here, 14 and 32. And so if we actually came in at 14, it's pretty good with the wind. And another cool thing about it, you just come down here to the end of the runway, and you park right over here, the little general aviation over here. The small planes. So it actually kind of works out pretty well. One thing about it, there is no chart for 14 or 32, so there's no use in the charts. Well, there isn't one. So I was saying, I do know that the heading is 144 degrees from FlightSim Commander, and the elevation is 433 feet. We're over here to Raleigh. And we can take I found some really good, right here, bakery goods, $61. And if you drop it off at Raleigh, they're paying 75, so that's 14 for each pound. Also, I don't know if this wasn't working earlier, missions, because I was always clicking on humanitarian missions. It says there's none, but because we have the mission, what do you call it? Reputation. See, it's at 20. I was wondering how you get it up. And I started noticing this about a week or so ago, that there's stuff here. I always thought it wasn't working because of the fee, but look, it actually does. If you bring lab equipment there to Wilmington, and that is a mission, they will pay you, look at that, $1,653 per pound. Per pound. That is insane. I don't know how much lab equipment weighs and everything, but daggone. And you can bring 495 pounds and get 1,635 per pound? Good Lord. That would be an insane amount of money. So you probably have to have a cargo configuration. I'm not sure. We'll do it when we get to Huntington, because when we get over to Huntington, we're going to switch out to cargo anyway. So then we can actually start doing that stuff no matter what, I guess. So that's actually pretty cool. You got to go out, you got to find who has lab equipment. So it could be a long flight, it could be a short flight. Maybe it's so long you have to take a pit stop in between. I don't know. That's just crazy. Like, does anyone have, I don't even know how, lab equipment. Do you have to make that somewhere and bring it? I don't know. Because I'm not sure how common lab equipment exactly is. Myrtle Beach, do you have any lab equipment? I don't know. We'll have to take a look at that. That's pretty cool. That pays a ton. But bakery goods does as well. And I think last time we took like 300 pounds of bakery goods, or of magazines and stuff like that. So we'll try that again. Although I don't know that you should actually be able to bring that much. It seems like it's a bit much. Over here at Wilmington Bakery Goods, let's go ahead and buy some. I hate to buy like all that much, because we have our 400 and some of people. It should be fine with 300 pounds. I'm going to go ahead and say we'll buy 300 pounds. Or shoot. That's not what I wanted to do. I entered the wrong thing. Bakery goods. Here we go. 60. I'm not sure why I was allowed to change that. Anyway, can I buy it cheaper? Can we? I don't know though that we can even afford 300 pounds. How much will that cost? 18,300. Yeah, we don't have that much. So that kind of helps me out determining how much we want to take. Let's say 200 pounds. I don't know that we have 12 too. How much money we got? We got 12.5, so we actually could take 200 pounds. That'll work. Alright, so bakery goods. Sorry, it kind of took me a while. I didn't even think about, should have done this earlier, see how much we can carry. We'll carry 200 pounds. It's not too much. And it's in our plane, as you can see. ad hoc flight. We're leaving from Wilmington for Raleigh, Durham. That's KRDU. I flew here in air hauler, I remember one time. I think it's a King Air 350. I think I had to go do 2 flights from here on one job because it weighed so much. Alright, so we only get 120 per ticket because it's so close. That's alright. We got our bakery goods. Luggage, just 23 pounds. How much? I think it's always, if you got 3 people, I guess it's always $467. And just 23 pounds there. We do need to put in a little more fuel. It's 105, so we'll say 125, because this thing just sips fuel. So what is the total? 13 gallons. Just gotta write that down. Luggage. Alright. Got that. Just $16 that we had to put back in. VFR, obviously. Can we go? Yeah, we should probably go 7,500 feet. We can get there easy. Get one medium. I wish I would just do the last position like we did in regular air. Medium, it doesn't really matter. But we'll go ahead and move on over to the plane. Hey everybody, here we are at the plane. You notice this is the yellow one. That's, I think, the one that we originally flew when we used the A-to-A. I've been using networked mode up until this flight, which I start up FSX then, and then have Air Hauler 2 connect to it. So I've been using the white one. And I undid networked mode, and so it's loading up the yellow one again. Of course, you can change it to whichever one you want. I did that little tutorial you'll find on using A-to-A, how you can switch that stuff around. Use whichever livery and stuff you want. So I'm just waiting on these people to get completely boarded. Does it give me plenty of time? Alright, so it looks like everybody's in. We gotta listen to the talk. Yeah. Let me make sure that the parking brake is on. The plane just started up over there. Throttle. We're gonna open this a quarter. Now, it hasn't been running for a while, so we might need to prime it. That's in idle cutoff. Propeller area is clear. Master switch can come on. Flashing beacon comes on. Fuel pump. Clear fuel. See the fuel flow comes up. Put that off. Cut off the beacon. Give it a little bit of fuel. Let's see if I did it. Oh, I'm afraid I flooded it. I'm trying to think exactly how. I can't remember exactly how you would think that you cut the fuel and then try to get to start to help clear the plugs. So that's why I don't like messing with it, priming it. You'll hear our batteries. Sounds like it's going dead. Well, try and clear it. I don't know. I probably can't. I'm probably gonna have to use Control E, and I hate doing that. Let's see if she'll go. Alright. Let me see something. Will it even say if the plugs are fouled? I shouldn't have primed it. Spark plugs are badly fouled. You need to lean out more. See, I can't change them ever. We've tried this. See, here, it sounds like it's... like they changed it, but it never seems to change. Alright, Control E. Sorry, I gotta do it. Alright, gonna lean this out. Shouldn't have primed it. That's why I don't prime it. Watch. Taxi, nav. Avionics, I'm gonna turn that back off. Try to get this to a state where we should be. Alright. Oil pressure is in the green. The temperature is gonna come up. Put it just under 1,000 to help warm it up. Electrical system. Alright, actually, I'm gonna turn on the navigation lights first. Electrical system. Master switch should go off. Taxi and landing, you come on. This goes down to idle. You see it's actually below 0. Alright, turn on to give it the load. See, that pops up. Oh, and then it goes down badly. As we increase the up to 1500. You can see that it did go up with the ammeter. Alright. Put this back down. You can see the temperature's coming up. Landing and taxi lights, you go off. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the pitot heat. Avionics master switch can come on. So everything is on. Flaps are retracted. It says a low fuel. That's right, because we gotta make sure this stuff is loaded anyway. Make sure our fuel is correct. 13 gallons is what we should have. So we're gonna have to increase a little bit. Right, there's 13 gallons. We had only 23 pounds of luggage. See, how are we gonna do that? I'm just gonna take this up to the maximum takeoff weight, or maybe a little bit over. Because, like I say, we technically have 200 pounds of commodities. I don't know if I should just take it up. Put this. I'll go ahead and I'll overload it a little bit. Go up to 100 pounds, because I don't even think this thing can hold 200 pounds when you load it up. Alright, low fuel light, that's alright. Switch that over to GPS, and let's go ahead and get up a Wilmington. See, now that's why it's been switched over to IFR. If I use networked mode, probably what I'll go back to. Get rid of that. By the way, 7,500 feet. These messages off.
Departure frequency is 121.4, squawk 7257.
Read that back.
November 7th.
Yes, we need to get out of here.
Hotel cleared at Raleigh Airport as filed.
7257, but we're going to go back on VFR, so we'll just leave it at 1200. Oh, it's probably going to change though, isn't it?
1.4, squawk 7257.
Yeah, it changed it.
Read back correct. Contact ground on 121.9.
Alright.
Wilmington ground, Cessna, November 7274, Hotel with Quebec, ready to taxi IFR. Cessna, November 7274, Hotel, taxi to...
Oh, that's not what I wanted.
17 via taxiway, Bravo, Alpha, contact tower on 119.9er when ready.
Alright, back to 1200. Turn on progressive taxi, acknowledge the clearance.
Short runway 17 via taxiway, Bravo, Alpha, Cessna, 74, Hotel.
Alright, 17, I can't remember the heading of that. We actually used that last time. I think it was 166 or something like that. I just threw that paper little note away. Alright, there's 166. Need my taxi lights. Come on, there we go. Alright, parking brake is off. We're 1 minute late. We're gonna be late. By the way, might as well go ahead and cancel IFR.
Wilmington ground, Cessna 74 Hotel, cancel IFR at this time. Cessna 74 Hotel, IFR flight plan is canceled. Taxi to runway and request VFR departure from tower.
And we'll switch over to the tower. Alright. We're late! Although, apparently being on time isn't that important, because we still got a full 100% rating, even though we were an hour and a half late, or no, half hour late, I think it was. Something like that. Ridiculously late. And the last late. Alright, so it's this perpendicular runway, it's not this one. But we're looking at, there it is, you can just see it on the left coming up. I'm not even sure where we parked last time. There was around some FedEx plane. I think we parked, didn't we park like over there? Because we would have come in, actually we would have come in this way, and we parked over on the left somewhere. Might actually be able to take off. without having to taxi down any. We're gonna have to taxi down some. I wouldn't want to risk it. You could probably get it up right there, but no need to risk that. Surely there will be some taxiway over there. I feel like I'm forgetting something. That startup seemed a little rushed. We're late. Yeah, I can't believe it. I found the plugs. I think the only way I can fix those plugs is to do the complete overhaul, because like I said, it doesn't seem to want to fix just the plugs. And I hate doing the complete overhaul because I kind of like how it keeps the damage, even though it's not, you know, interacted or connected at all with Air Hauler 2 and that damage like that. But I kind of like how it does that, how it wears over time on its own. That's kind of cool. I said lean more. I've been leaning it. I guess maybe we do need to lean a little bit more. I keep it with around 55 or so on the ground after we start up, so I'm kind of surprised by that. Please tell me there's a taxiway. Yeah, there is one. Remember on that last one, we had to go all the way to the end of the runway. There's where we parked, right over there. Wish we'd have parked there again. Good lord, we'd already be up in the air. Okay, so we're on the tower. I'll do my run up if I can remember, even though it's seconds away. Try to remember to do my run up and then request the clearance. Everything looks good for us. Everything's in the green, temperature and everything. Low fuel, I'm not worried about. It barely uses any fuel as it is. By the way, go ahead and set the flaps. I'll just use one notch, even though we're kind of overweight. And she doesn't really have much capacity, does she? If you got 3 passengers with you, you can't go very use all that much fuel. Ah. Should have plenty of room, I think. Doesn't take this thing very long to get up in the air. Alright, I'm gonna stop right here. Parking brake comes on. We're a little bit more fuel. Alright. So the parking brake is set. Passenger, we don't care about all the doors and everything. Flight controls. Everything is good. Flight instruments, everything is set up how we need it to be. Fuel quantity 6 and 7, or 13 gallons. Mixture, full rich. Fuel selector valve is in both. And we can come down here and we get rid of this. Go to 1800 RPM. See, that's too much of a drop. So I wonder if fixing that thing, the plugs will help with that. Vacuum gauge, we are in the green. Ammeter is charging. Bring this down to 1,000 or less. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to maybe do the complete overhaul since I can't get just the plugs changed. Yes, we are going, I believe, just basically west. It did that so fast. Actually, it says to the north more, doesn't it? 346, we'll say to the north. I thought it was more west.
Wilmington Tower.
I was wrong.
November 7274 Hotel.
Strobe and landing lights.
17, ready for takeoff. Departure to the north. Cessna, November 727 Fort Hotel, cleared for takeoff, runway 17, departure to the north approved.
Alright, acknowledge that. We are trimmed for takeoff. Our flaps are set to 10 degrees. Nothing on the annunciator panel. We're set to GPS on the autopilot. When we go to the autopilot. Alright. So even though we're heavy, 10 degrees of flaps will hopefully be enough. Lined up here. Alright, off we go. Push forward just a little bit. She came up a little early. Earlier than I wanted. My nose down just a little bit so I can pick up a little more airspeed. Alright, correcting the flaps. See, it says the departure was on time, but technically we could have been late. Alright, let's come around to our left here. A little too hard to the left. Nose is getting a little high. I'm still trying to trim it. Plane is just naturally banking to the left a little bit. There, she's sucked a little bit. I guess we're gonna fly. I didn't take a very long, wide turn, so we're gonna actually fly over the edge of the airport. Just set this side. Three, 4, 6. Get set, there we go. Alright, we can pick the nose up a little bit more because of her speed. I've been trimming the crap out of it and still, man, she's just, if I let go, she's way too nose up. She hasn't actually moved all that much. I've gone a little too far with it. See the nose coming back down. Still, man. I really don't enjoy trying to trim out this aircraft. It's so hard. Go ahead and hit the autopilot. We're set for 7,500 feet, as you can see. 700. I'm going to arm the altitude, 7,500 feet. She went to it nicely that time. I usually end up clicking that on and off, and you don't really have to. Because the heading actually will switch over to nav since we're pretty much on it. Just off a little bit. We're 103 miles out. Just over an hour. I guess we'll just kind of fly directly in. I don't want to talk to the tower. We are going to have to go out and around because of the wind. Because we're going to land on 14, so yeah, you can see we'll have to come almost straight out and around. That's fine. fly out and around. Alright, that'll work. Coming up on 2,200 feet. Our airspeed's coming down a little bit, so I'll just keep a look at her. Alright, I'll go ahead and speed it up from here and be back in just a little bit. but he's slowing it down to normal speed. And that's the airport right there. That's going to be our runway right there. We're coming up on 6,000 feet. I've got it set to go down to 2,800. The airport elevation is 433 feet. And we're sending, what, 300 feet a minute, I do believe. So we'll come out and around. In. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to put this at 054. Alright. That'll set us to come over here and we'll cut across, like I said. And descent checklist, even though I've been descending for a little while now. Power is adjusted just as we want it. Mixture, we'll adjust that. Altimeter, so I forgot to get the ATIS, by the way. We can have it do it automatically. Fuel selector valve is a both. Alright, we're 7 miles out. Get off there. Switch over to heading. Been debating about how quickly I need to descend. I'll move this up to 50. You can hear the engine picking up. And Raleigh, I've got everything extremely dense. Raleigh is putting a little bit of a strain on it, huh? And 23, 25, 19. Just when you turn. Heck, you even hit 29, it just feels a little more draggy than that. Raleigh, Durham. Alright, coming up on 5,500. Go ahead and put that to 60. By the way, we probably should speed up a little bit. Should also probably pick up our descent rate another 100 feet for the time being. Because we're not going to go out way out and do our approach, and it doesn't really make any sense to do that. Like, I'm going to go put this to 500. We don't need to go all that far out. Kind of surprised it has lights. Capacity lights, because from this side it doesn't have any. I was looking for that earlier. I started up FSX before the flight just to check it, and there was no lights from the approach lights from the other end. At 4,500 feet now. We're out just a little further before we make our left turn. Alright, let me slow this down to normal speed while we turn. Okay, I went 3, 2, 4. Alright, 1,000 feet to go. Probably descended a little quicker than we needed to do there at the end, but that's fine. That mixture at 75%. Probably, well, was gonna say probably didn't need to come that far out. However, these runways are a lot closer. By the way, I think somebody actually has recently made scenery for this airport. I can't remember exactly who it was, but I might want to look at that in the future when we start putting out a lot of bases and stuff. Might want to make that one if there's in fact scenery for it. There's something I like about Raleigh, Durham. I'm not sure. As long as it's not too close to Myrtle Beach. Alright, so we're at 3,000 feet, so I'm going to go ahead and put that full ridge. As the plane levels out here. Out a little further. You know, our runway, I think the threshold is right around in there. It's actually, no, it's going to be over here. I think it's like completely on the other side of those two main runways. That's why I chose not come in too high. I'm going to actually let her go down to like 2,500. Put this to normal speed real quick, and we'll make our turn at 234. Our runway heading is 144 degrees. Like I said, it's about 400 feet in elevation. So I'll actually let it go down to 2,400. That'd put us 2,000 up. We might have to actually come down a little bit more. Be able to see here in just a second exactly how close we are. Can hardly see. We might need to come down a little bit more. Be able to tell better when we get a little bit closer. And I'm actually going to bring this down to 2,200. I'll flash over here. My main worry is coming in too high. Like I said, we do actually have to fly over those two main runways, so it's not all that close. 4 gallons and 5 gallons. There's no procedures at all whatsoever for the GPS. This will be our runway right over here. Make our turn. I can't actually even make out the actual, I can't see the actual runway. Let's make a turn here. Let's see what we need to do. The low fuel thing is blinking now. It doesn't like it. 4 gallons, 5 gallons. No, it's not. Bring back the power a little bit. A little late on the turn. Get rid of that yoke. Just go away. I really can't even hardly see it. Just barely see some concrete now. As you can see, it's actually on the other side of the runways. Coming up on 2,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and put the flaps out to 10. Load us up. It's crazy how the first notch does that. I'm going to mess with the power as she goes down. So what I'm going to do is set that to 0. Got us too far off the left now after that correction. Alright, feel like we're a little high, about 400. Putting the flaps out to 20. In fact, I'm starting to feel like we're way too high. Autopilot coming off. Set this. Speed's dropping a little low. Everything's set here. Like I said, I think we've got ourselves a little high here. Sure, we've gotten ourselves a little high. Don't have any approach lights to help us out. See, that's the thing I was afraid about. There's other people, large planes, are going to be using those runways. Alright, we're at full flaps now. Hopefully there isn't too much traffic here because I don't want to cross them. Trying to trim us out a little better. Somebody taxiing over there. And someone over at the terminal. Alright, we're coming up on 1,000 feet. Like I said, the runway elevation is 433. Oh, I screwed that up right there. Afraid we're gonna get a little too low here in our speed as well. Yeah, we're too low. And slow. Ah, I butchered it, didn't I? Oh, yeah. Minor damage, yeah, I butchered that all to hell. That was not at all what I wanted to do. Because we got so high, but then I ended up getting it too low, and I didn't want to mess with the power enough. Oh, man. Didn't need that. So that's going to hurt the daggone plane. We had been doing so well with it. I'm going to go ahead and lean this out a little more. I'll lean it to 50 since it says I need to lean it out more. Oh, that was a horrible landing. We've been doing so good in this plane. That's our first really bad mistake. We had her high and then I overcorrected and got it too daggone low. Ah, that sucks. So bad. We have been doing so good. And that said minor damage, and we absolutely nailed the runway. That replay will be disgusting. Alright, we should be able to park right over here. Like I said, that's one good thing about coming on this runway. Yeah, I got her too low and slow. Alright, I'm not going to stop to do the checklist. The only thing on the checklist is getting the flaps retracted, and I've already retracted the flaps. So let me slow down. Torpedo heat, strobe, and landing lights off. Continue on. Hopefully we can just pull straight ahead or something. See, like, there's no... What happened to even, like, just the little generic... general aviation planes? Even at Raleigh, Durham, there isn't any. Yeah, just go straight ahead. Slow her down a little. Alright. Right there. Parking brake is coming on. Just the taxi light can come off. It always sounds like she's going to shut off. Alright, parking brake is set. We can turn all of our radios and everything off. So I've had that on standby. Let's see here. Alright. That is all off. The avionics master switch comes off. Make sure cut off. He's off. Alright, she's off. Ah, see, there it came. Went straight over. Passenger satisfaction 40. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that was terrible. Actually, before I do that, actually, go ahead and get this off. Good thing we brought in that money, huh? Hopefully we didn't break any of it. Didn't say how much I got for it. Let me come over here to FSX real quick. I want to do something to that plane. See what she says about it. See, spark plugs are a little foul. Actually, it didn't say that we, like, nailed it or anything. But, like I say, the spark plugs, man, I don't understand what I'm doing wrong here. Like, even if you change it over to that, hit OK. You hear a little wrench, but it doesn't do anything. The only thing I know how to do is the complete overhaul, and then it goes away. But it resets things. Well, the hours aren't reset, so that's not so bad. Disembarking passengers. Go back over to Air 2. Finish her up. Hard. Oh, please don't tell me that we killed the plane. Thought it was said a little damage. Alright, took off at 6:39, landed at 7:54, took an hour and 14 minutes. Took off with 76 pounds of fuel. Landed with 51, just used 25 gallons. Or is that 25 pounds, maybe, actually? Yeah, 25 pounds. We don't have 25 gallons. Got, what, 26, I think, total? 13 each wing, something like that. Maximum altitude was 7,502 feet. Max pitch, minus 11.1. Max roll, 24.5. Max speed, 119.7. Minimum G, 0.7. Minimum G's exceeded 0. Maximum G's 3.67. Maximum exceeded once. Stall false. Although we almost did. Overspeed false. Landing description hard. Landing gear on true. Landing on asphalt. Oh my goodness, 8% damage. That one was my personal record, I think, for air hauler total. Yeah, I came down 391.9 feet. Landing speed, we stalled out. Landing speed 40.4 feet a minute. Landing pitch note 11. Landing roll 1.0. Landing heading 149.28. Landing wind speed 8. Wind direction 166. And we landed on 14. So if it was, I think it's, I don't like how it says direction because I think it's actually coming from 166. Passenger satisfaction log. Stall. Oh man, look at all that. Right at 754. G-force 3.7. Dropped all the way down. Oh man, that's so bad. That's so my fault. We were so high, I tried to get it down lower, and then I ended up getting it too low. And I knew it. What I should have done, well, there's two things I should have done. I should have gone on the power and really should have gone around because I knew we were in trouble earlier, a little early on. I'm mad at myself. 30.1. So we went backwards, right? Oh, we came down a full one. Holy jeez, that's never good. Back down to 37. Oh, that's aggravating. Alright, 15.5. I would actually take a look at the ledger. So, 15,000. So, we actually made 2,800. Good thing we did that, because we're going to need money to repair the plane a little bit. I bet we can't even fully repair it. Like, if we clicked repair, we can actually repair it. I'll tell you what, 66%. Can we do like a partial? Why even do a partial, though? Well, I'll get her to 75%. Where's 75%? At $2,400. I'll spend the $2,500. It's aggravating because, like I said, we've been doing so good with the plane, and then to just butcher it like that, unacceptable at this point in time. All right, and in the next episode, we're going to have a really short flight, I guess, over to Winston-Salem, and then from Winston-Salem, we will go back to Huntington. Where did Huntington go? Here it is. There, now we can see a little better. Raleigh to Winston-Salem, the next one, and then on to Huntington. That'll be a bigger flight, longer flight to make more money from the tickets. Not sure we'll have anything for commodities, and we do need to take stuff there, so that kind of sucks. Factories and construction. We need electronics, chemicals, and textiles. And at KHTS, we need electronics. We need batteries. So electronics are already here. Chemicals and textiles. Chemicals and textiles. Chemicals and textiles. Chemicals, no, and textiles, no set. We'll have to find some chemicals and textiles sometime. Get that thing producing a little bit to make some money, because we're going to need it. So keep landing like that. Alright, but, yeah. That's going to be it for this episode. I hope y'all did enjoy it. Catch you guys on the next flight.